All right, we're here with a guy that I can actually say, you are a legend of the sport of MMA. You have done so much. I have been watching you since the MFC days. I know no one remembers that.
Old school days.
But you were fighting,
Edmonton.
and you had these little glasses back then, these little thin glasses, and it was like, dude, that dude can fight, man. Yeah. Benson, you have had an unbelievable career. And you're now in this tournament. You took a contract. You said, I got 4 fights left. After that, I'm done because my wife is coming into the fight world and I want to be there for her. I think that's awesome of you. What does this being in the tournament mean to you as a fighter after everything that you've done?
It really is an amazing thing for me to be a part of. I like being a part of like my gym, certain things that are bigger than yourself. I love being a part of Bellator, the family of Bellator. It's something bigger than you. There's nothing that I can do personally that's ever going to be, amazing or great or this or that or whatever, but you can be a part of something. That's what people love sports teams. You want to be a part of something. So being a part of a Grand Prix where we have some amazing fighters, some former champions in the group of guys of us, it's gonna be a great Grand Prix. Every fight is gonna be exciting. Like you have to watch this. No, you gotta watch this matchup. You gotta watch this fight. Every fight's gonna be that way, and I'm excited just to kick it off.
What was it when they called you that made you say yes when they said, hey, we want you to fight Usman first round? Like, most people are like, okay, look, this is the champ. I get it. You fought everyone. You fought the who's who. But, like, there's other guys' style. Let's get it match up way better with you. Like, okay, I can just get through this and I get in the second round, make more money, do whatever it is. But why? Why take that fight the first round?
That was just who they called and said. Kogan. Yeah. He said, hey, you want Usman? And I was like, yeah. Text him back right away and sign me up. No problem. I don't know. I never thought of it that way. I never entered my head that way. I always thought of it as, oh, hey, this is a great opportunity. Like if you're going to win the tournament, you have to beat everybody anyways, right? You have to beat the best people. So if I have to beat him in the finals or I beat him in the very first round, I'm going to beat him either way. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to get my hand raised. It just happens I get lucky enough now that it's going to be the first round rather than the finals. And the final will beat somebody else up.
So there's been a lot of talk about this is a huge lightweight tournament, which it is. But when you look at the landscape of MMA over the years, right? John and I had a little bit of an argument, but it wasn't really an argument. It was a conversation.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
I look at all the fighters that came out of the UFC lightweight tournament. But you had Matt Serra, you had Dean Thomas, you had BJ Penn, you had Carl Uno. Yeah. These guys are all in the Hall of Fame now. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a couple guys that, but it was a great tournament. It's just the way it ended. Didn't give it the notoriety. Never ended. That's what I'm saying. Never ended. But this, though, what makes this different from that tournament?
I think you're for sure going to have an ending, so you got to start with there first. Someone's going to get crowned. Someone's going to have the belt around their waist. And then I think it's the fighters, the individual fighters themselves, and what we all bring to the table in this Grand Prix compared to the other one.
What do you guys bring to the table, though? Give me something, because what I say from my perspective is that was still kind of an era of one-dimensional fighting. You had Matt Serra, was pretty much known just for his jiu-jitsu. BJ Penn was a good boxer, had great power, but mainly known for his jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And then you had Dean Thomas, mainly stand-up. Carl Uno was well-rounded, not great on the feet, very flashy. Yeah. But I look at it as that we are your era of fighting, and the guys that you're fighting against,
he's trying
He's
also trying to say that he's one of you. He's trying to say
I'm way older.
He's trying to say he's a lightweight. No, he's more like a middleweight.
Wow, says the heavyweight, super heavyweight,
possibly.
But what makes for me? I felt like that was the difference. It was the not more one-dimensional, now extremely well-rounded.
Yeah, I think for sure I would have to agree. I think all the guys are so well-rounded, especially when you take an example of somebody like Usman, who's definitely likes to kickbox more. In his one of his fights, he threw 31 kicks in the very first round. The next fight I watched of his, he threw like 34 kicks in the first round. So he's a kickboxer. He likes staying at distance, playing a little bit of tit for tat, but that's what he likes, that he enjoys. But at the same time, he knows he's smart enough to take the path of least resistance. Against Pitbull, like, hey, I'm imagining in his head he thinks he can beat Pitbull standing up, but the path of least resistance is to take him down instead. And he is good enough, he has a skill set enough to actually take down Pitbull, which is not an easy thing to do, and then get a dominant W in that fashion. So he has a skill set. He's smart enough. He's not such a, oh, I'm a tough guy. No, I'm a tough guy. I'm going to beat you standing up. No, I'll beat you standing up. Like, oh, hey, no. Like, I can beat you standing up, but I'm going to take you down instead because I know that's a lot easier. So to me, it showed how smart he is and that he does have that skill set if he needs to use it.
When you take a look at the entire lineup, who isn't in there that you look at and you go, skill set wise, this guy might be the most difficult fight there is? Is it Usman or is it somebody else?
Skill set wise, he has a belt right now, so you have to say Usman. I would imagine a lot of people would say me as far as having skill set and being a tough matchup for people. But also, guy has a W over me. I would say Pitbull. His Usman handled him pretty well, and I think Usman might have set the blueprint on how to beat Pitbull. But Pitbull's tough. He's a true veteran. He's been around forever, former champion, and all that. He's tough as heck, and he has a W over me, and I want to get that back. So hopefully him and I see each other at some point in time.
It's funny because Josh and I were talking to a couple of different fighters and asked them, if possible, in the finals, who would you want to face? You the man.
Yep.
Everyone's saying you because everyone
you.
has so much respect for you and what you've done in your career. They all said Benson Henderson.
I do appreciate that. Freaking, what's his name? Morgan had the one that I was. What?
John Morgan?
John Morgan.
Yeah. He had to throw out there that I was. Usman was 8 years old in my first ever pro. I was looking like.
Now you know what I've been going through my whole life.
But here's the thing, though, and the media wonder why we hate them.
Yes.
That's what they wonder why.
Questions
like that.
You
Questions like that.
You got to throw that out there. Goodness gracious.
Look, I look at there's one fighter on this whole thing that really no one knows about, and that's Mansour Barnaoui. Extremely good grappling, really good on the feet, relatively unknown. He's had, one fight in the last 4 years, 3.5 years, and he had a great performance against Adam Piccolotti, who you fought. And it was a very close fight with you and Adam Piccolotti. He went out there and dominated Adam. Yeah. Is he somebody that you feel like you need to keep on your radar?
Oh, for sure. I literally think all the guys with the right matchup and the right time, and you know how it is. Fighters, we all fight on any given night. This guy can win, this guy can lose. This goes wrong, this happens weird, whatever. So on any given night, somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. How the matchup plays out, but all those guys are tough. Like if you allow somebody like Sidney Outlaw to get in his groove and start getting takedowns, start working on takedowns, start grinding you up. Maybe not a super skilled striker, not gonna flash highlight reel knock you out like that. But if you allow him to get in his groove and start working his takedowns and being like a heavy pressure or whatnot, could be a long night for some fighters. Same thing for jiu-jitsu guys. Same things for everybody. If you let them in their groove, they're gonna have success. They're gonna be good. So our job is to not let them in their groove.
So I'm going to go past this now. We've talked about the lightweight World Grand Prix with Bellator. But look, it's Fedor's last night. We got to talk about him. When you first started watching him, you were probably like 6. Okay, but
see, makes you feel better.
I'm giving you some love.
I'll take it.
So, but I mean, when you first started watching him, what was your first thoughts? And then as you saw him progress, you saw him just dominate fighters, guys like Nogueira, guys like Frank Mir, he had dominated a lot of top level fighters, Mark Coleman, and he made it look easy. What were your thoughts from the first time you saw him to him dominating to now towards the end of his career? Yeah. The end of his career.
Yeah. I always loved him. I was a huge fan of his from the very, very beginning. I first saw him, his whole persona, his walkout, the way he fights, how he fights, everything about him. I'm a huge fan. I love Fedor. I geeked out over him the first time I saw him. I was like, oh, my God, it's Fedor! So that was cool. And then seeing him progress, seeing him change, I think it's the evolution of everybody. People don't realize as artists, mixed martial artists, or if you're a rapper, your first album as a musician, your first album is not gonna be the same as your 13th album.
Hope not.
Yeah, you hope not. If for that kind of career longevity,
unless that first album was really good.
But yeah, so you need to evolve, you need to change, you need to grow, and I think Fedor did a good job of that. He knows what he's good at, and he has evolved and he has grown, and now he's looking to put a cap on his career.
If there's one thing I want to say before we end this, Fedor has had that stigma of, he walks out, he never says a bad word about his opponent. He walks out down the ramp, doesn't make any emotion towards anyone, doesn't do anything, goes into the cage, they call out his name, he holds up one hand, and then he goes out and does his thing and maybe puts one hand up again. I want to say you are the lightweight version
Yes.
of Fedor
I was about
Emelianenko,
to
because
say
you've
that.
always been so classy in the way that you've handled yourself, and it's been an honor watching you throughout your career. And good luck
Well, thank you very much.
in the lightweight Grand Prix. I can't wait to watch it, brother.
appreciate it, John.
Thanks for everything, man.
I have to second what he said. I know that we fought, I know all these things, but after the fight, I saw you in the hotel lobby, and I wanted to say, I cast it up and all this stuff, but I was like, hey, I had to seek you out and just let you know, brother. It's been a pleasure, man. I love sharing the cage with you. We've become really good friends since then, and man, I got a lot of admiration for you, man. You're a fantastic fighter. You're literally like a living legend. Okay? Yes. Okay, but thank you
That
so
means
much
you're
for
old,
joining us.
because that's what they do with me in here now.
All right.